What's up, morning ladies? My name is Shaz, and welcome to the What If Deku had the powers of Ryu Ryu no Mi, modeled. I can't even say the name properly, so that's why I use here. Hold on, because I use an AI to make this devil fruit thing. So this guy, so Zuko has powers of the devil fruit thing. And yeah, let me get into details about the Delphert thing. So if you ever see it in the wild, this is what it looks like before. When you eat it, it has this special power to turn you into a Spinosaurus, not just a ordinary Spinosaurus. This Spinosaurus allows you to have the powers of a elemental of fire and ice. Plus, I was just using it to relieve. So it has dino transformations, fire manipulation, even time manipulation. So if you see someone using his power, or yeah. So hold on. There we go. So then so Zuko ends up. Oh, so and plus I am adding zooming into this what if. So let me turn that off. Oh. Okay. So yeah. So then so now let's begin with Zuko and Zumi been born. And plus, so in this universe, there's only two types. There's quarkless and then there's quarked. But then there's a new power thanks to Zuko Midoriya. So it's called our new tier list called Power. So without further ado, let's jump right into it. So Zuko and Zumi been born, and of course they went to the Quark Doctor, and at age of 4, but at age of 3 though, I am introducing the Ultra from One Piece. So Ultra, she loved Deku so much. Every time if Bakugo ever tried to pick on him, well, or anyone tries to pick on his or her favorite person, and then has to respond to her. Yeah. So now let's get into this what if. So at age of 4, the quirk doctor tells tells Zumi that she has a quirk and she can become a hero. But then when he turns over to Zuko, tells him that he's quirkless, and most people. So after the quirk doctor, his parents abandoned him. Most of everyone except for Ultra. As Ultra kept Zuko at her place, so her family wants to see her happy, not see her depressed. So, yeah. And it's not like a same relationship as the like Ultra with page 1. And so kind of relationship thing, but more of a like, because she sees Zuko as her like husband, basically. So yeah, and they're age of 4. So yeah, so a time skip to, because they both spend way more quality time together. As yeah, and she's rich, by the way, surpassing even Momo's is. Plus, she actually has a quirk instead of like the Delford powers. Her quirk is basically a transformation into a prehistoric dinosaur. I'm going to save this so that I don't have to go back and forth to it. So let's. One Piece Ultras is. Because I don't remember exactly. Yeah. Okay, so. Man, I can't even read that.
Ryu Ryu no Mi, model, Pachycephalosaurus.
Yeah. Imagine instead of having a Delver of it, it would be a quirk. Yeah. So when. Yeah. So when she basically. Yeah. So at age of 15, after. Because they had to go their separate ways to go to school thing. as Ultra actually kissed Zuko on the lips, as he doesn't, or he's never embarrassed around her, but for anyone else it would be embarrassing. So yeah, so then so Zuko goes to a quirkless school, and Ultra went to UA because she got accepted to UA. As so then, yeah. So she got class 1A. And when she does go to the, she got, or so a time skip, so sports festival, she basically saw him, or actually, Bakugo's like, quirkless loser has a girlfriend, so that's pretty funny. And that made her mad. As she tells Bakugo that you better take that back. About the quirkless part. I don't care what you say. As Bakugo, it was a battle. As Bakugo gets immediately knocked out of the ring. Because Ultra used a haymaker on Bakugo and sending him flying sideways out of the ring. Slammed right into the wall, like nailed right into the wall. And the thing cracked, as Zuko couldn't see because how, so he was in front, as where he was at, so Bakugo cracked right next to them, or when he hits the wall, Zuko's entire, like, where he was sitting, fell. As Ultra runs over her, as she didn't mean to do that. As Zuko gets underneath the rubble before, as she basically gets him out of there, and she hugs him. As Zuko's like, ow, that hurt. And at least you're still alive. As Zuko's like, yeah. And so everybody sees that what Bakugo was saying. As the something or so Midnight sees this, and something's telling her that this kid has something special too. As she says, "What's your name, kiddo?" "I'm Zuko Midoriya." "Well, you're going to be a next challenger so I want you to stay there." As she turns around and looks behind so that as a piece of rock is just, as it lands right on his head, knocks him out. As Ultra's like, as the Midnight's like, "Oops, didn't mean to say that way." So he dodged yeah. So then, yeah. So then the Zumi's all upset because she's upset at Ultra because she sent Zumi's boyfriend to through the wall. Oh. As, yeah. Zuko is pretty much is unharmed. So then the next round, of course, Zumi versus... Actually, Zumi versus, let's say, Ochako. And Ultra versus Todoroki in the final round. Or actually, bonus round. So, Todoroki froze, or almost killed, Ultra's and she couldn't move. So, and that made Zuko mad. That no one should have froze his girlfriend and like that. As, yeah. So, Todoroki, he was being very cruel. Froze her solid. Or, as Zuko's like, if I have to battle against, or inside of his head, if I have to battle against this Todoroki, I will kill him. And as he says, as he walks up, or inside of his head, as Zuko uses, what is he doing? As Zuko puts his hand right on Ultra's arm, as her entire body, like, unfroze. Like, basically undid what Todoroki did. As Ultra's was... As fire came from his fingertips, so, yeah. As Ultra, or basically, everybody saw that powers, as he's like, huh. And the Yeah. So Zuko ends up basically, being Zuko. So Todoroki versus Zumi, and of course Todoroki won, but the bonus round is between Todoroki versus Zuko. As the Zuko was pretty mad because, one, Todoroki shouldn't just use his ice. So, yeah. So then, so he puts on the same outfit just like what they were. As he takes off his shirt, or his jacket thing, so that and wraps it around. As so then when I won't forgive you on hurting my ultra. As you think, no, higher powers I have. As Zuko transforms. Because, yeah, it takes a lot to make him mad. But when Todoroki froze the Zuko's girlfriend's and Zuko's entire body transforms into a Spinosaurus that's on fire and ice. Like basically a combined of the elementals as he looks at Todoroki as he says, "Time for you to die." As Zuko straight up blasts Todoroki with enough firepower that it sent Todoroki flying out of the ring as he runs right as he grabs him by his teeth and shakes him around like a little rag doll. Like a dog playing with a chew toy. Yeah. As he lifts him up, as he's about to eat Todoroki, as Endeavor, as everybody's like, as Ultra was faster, as she ran and grabbed grabs Zuko's mouth, clamped it, as she knows that he did it before because he was raged. Like, he was angry for having Todoroki put her in like this frozen state. As she looks at him, as Zuko, whom basically, or so, as she tells him to stop and yeah, as he calms himself down, as his shirt did rip him, and his pants did rip him, so he's basically naked thing. As he had, thinking that he had spare clothes, so with him, so he puts it on, and as he basically, as Ultra's like rubs against Zuku's, and she knew that Zuku did it for her. As Todoroki was a little bit terrified. Yeah, like he was scarred for life. Because no one told him about because when he saw because he earlier he heard from Todoroki or from Bakugo that Zuko was quirkless. But then when Zuko showed his dinosaur form, as Zuko was like, or actually made even Endeavor sweat, because he almost lost his son to a dinosaur or user. As Zuko, at this point, as he didn't mean to try to kill anybody, but he was just enraged. As he kind of feels bad but after the sports festival, he did apologize to Todoroki and about like him trying to, as he told him that the kind of didn't want to hold back because this is what he said to Todoroki, that he literally said that you try to freeze my Ultra, and I couldn't hold back because once you threaten my friends or her, I will do it. So, yeah. As Endeavor could see why, as they, before who left, they did a blood testing about what he found, or what they found, shocked them. That this guy right here, ends up, so this is like, wait, it says powers. It says it's powers unknown. Because normally when they see a word powers, or actually quirk, usually comes up first. Quirks. Gravity, example. But it said quirk, quirkless. Power. Or actually, first thing that came up was powers. As it had that same thing. I forget what this is called. Let me go to here. This one.
Ryu Ryu no Mi, model, Ignis Spinosaurus.
So, it said powers.
Ryu Ryu no Mi, model, Ignis Spinosaurus.
Yeah, that one. So, yeah, you could see it on your screen. And Zuko was pretty powerful. So when they're like, holy crud. So this guy has a transformation. And everybody's like, hold on. It says powers. The name of that. So when he didn't make any friends when he was at Quirkless school, but when they transferred him to UA, they know that they basically were like, oh crud, this kid's are more powerful than all of us put together. And he was born with that power, not eating the delf of it. So basically, he doesn't have that weakness of the sea prism stones and the lose your ability to swim kind. So he can swim underwater in his dinosaur form or his actual form, human form, and his hybrid form. So So Ultra sees him, or first of all, during the sports festival, when Zuko transforms for the first time into the theme.
Ryu Ryu no Mi, model, Ignis Spinosaurus.
Ignis Spinosaurus. And then everyone could not believe it. That as they see biggest dinosaur of their lives. As, when he transformed, he was bigger than three, basically three, or no, bigger than 5 endeavors. So he usually, when he activates so he had a tail that's longer than, it makes even whoever, yeah. So, yeah, you know how One Piece fans think that or the One Piece people or characters are tall? Well, Zuko's is Spinosaurus one. Age. One's Delford. This guy, or page 1, is bigger than, it was 2 of these into like bigger form. Yeah. So imagine how big you have to be to reach his height. Yeah. So when he still has the tail thing, as he, yeah. So Tailed Man. So his tail is pretty big, or not that, pretty much. Yeah, I'm trying to talk about like his tail. So, when Zuko came in, or when he transferred from Quirkless School to here, he was immediately in Class 1A with Ultra and the rest of them. As he wraps his entire body, his face, as Ultra. So, because they have seen, or they can see why Zuko and Ultra are two powerhouses, because one is basically can basically, both of them can transform into like their dinosaur counterparts. But Zuko's is more vicious than Ultra's. Because beginning during the USJ thing, they seen her transformation and they thought it was pretty scary. But then when they looked over at Zuko's and seen how vicious his can be, well, let's just say they're like, we're so dead. And yeah, with the powerhouses like those two, yeah, I think it makes Bakugo and Todoroki the weakest ones of the bunch. Yeah. So, plus one of them actually has powers of fire and ice, and could transform into a dinosaur. As Zuko says, I'm also a time traveler too, or having powers of time travel too. So, I could hop back through time, like going back into the past or the future. And before you guys commented, like, dinosaurs aren't that intelligent to have powers like that, or like some other stuff. And plus what I used, the time one, I forget it's called. One Piece, not Ultra. The time fruits. This one, I kind of changed her powers just slightly, so that she can, so Zuko, basically his powers so one of his powers allows him to go instead of towards the future. So he can go to the future and the past at will and shows up in present day either. So he doesn't have to do, because I kind of see a downside to her Delphert. She has to go towards the future more than the past. Like, basically, she goes into the past and so, yeah. So she basically can, yeah. But, yeah, Zuko can go into the past and future at different times, even showing them back to present day. So then yeah, if he wants. So, yeah. So when everyone heard what Zuko's third power fourth, with to having that power, as Mr. Zhao was like, holy crud, he can time travel into the future, past, holy crud. Yeah, so Zuko ends up basically, and even though Chaco can, and basically goes to, because she thought he was just quirkless, but because of what she saw, and when she heard that he has the power of time thing, she's like, holy crud. Even Momo is like, man, having that much power drives anyone crazy. So, yeah. So now, let's begin. Alright, basically, Zuko, a time skip to All Might versus All for One. And let's say Ultra got kidnapped. At this time. And Zuko is, so this is what Zuko says in his own head. If they try to hurt my Ultra, as his body starts to transform, as he starts charging, running towards town, as he knew where it, because of sense, as he's slammed right into an already destroyed building, as All Might says, or All for One says, any last words? Yeah. Be careful. Why? As All for One turns around and sees a big Spinosaurus that's on fire and ice like blue flames as he runs, as All for One tried to run, like he literally was trying to run the fastest he could. He could literally ran fast as he could. And to trying to avoid Zuko Midoriya as Yeah, Zuku's is pretty powerful, but it was too late for All for One. As Zuko grabs All for One and shakes him around, like what he did with Todoroki, but this time was different. He snapped All for One in half, and the yeah, Zuko is pretty brutal character, as he throws All for One's dead body, towards Shiraki-sen. As Shiraki-sen caught it with all 5 fingers, and it destroyed All for One, killing him instantly. So then, yeah, as Ultra knows that Zuko is still in control, as he's because how as he lifts his hand, or as he's trying to wipe his face, he tilts his head down and tries to wipe the blood off. As he's trying, but yeah, as Ultra says, "I'll get it, Sweet Pea." As she had a napkin on her, so like she basically wipes the blood off of Zuko's mouth. Oh, as he basically, so first of all, the Zuko's like body structure, like his superhero costume, is similar to what you see on your screen, where Zuko is at. Because, first of all, Zuko is basically a prehistoric dinosaur Zuko. So when everyone saw like what Zuko and Ultra had, the relationship thing, unbreakable bond, as he does transform back into his human form, because he's learning how to control his powers, as the government sees him as like a literal threat, but that's only when he gets angry. As it reminds them, because if you touch his Ultra, or should I say his girlfriend, you're basically a dead person. So some people are shocked about like Zuko's dinosaurs things when he killed All for One, and except for my favorite character that I'm still mad at My Hero Academia people, the creators, of killing my favorite character, Toga, off. Like, straight up, done. So, yeah. So when Toga saw Zuko killing and she could say him wise, because everyone, including Shiraki-sen, told Toga that to be careful around Zuko. He's more dangerous than anyone. And then, and when she saw him, her face becomes brightest red that you even seen before. Like, her face literally, and she would had him, she would have had to use her own because there's only one person that stands in the way between her and Zuko. And because not Todoroki. Toga sees him as Toga sees Zuko as her own boyfriend too. But because of Ultra is basically is the the wall that it stops Toga from So what does Toga do? She jumps into because she was a villain, and she throws a knife. And Zuko uses his tail as a shield. as his tail, because Zuko was in his human form, but he still had a tail. As he basically uses it as his tail was literally got pierced through, or not pierced, as Ultra sees knives, aims, and yeah. So Ultra picks out the knives. As she turns around, looks at Toga. Ultra was mad. As she ran right up to Toga. As Toga tries to run away. But it was too late. Ultra just used a haymaker on her, sending her flying, knocking her out. Yeah. As Zuko grabs the knives, as he pulls it out slowly. Because he knows that it's pretty painful for him. So he's like, oh. Yeah. So the original script was Ultra just lifted Toga up onto and making her fall home. And basically Bane style of how he would break the Batman. But Ultra just did that. So, yeah. As everybody's keeping those two together is everybody agrees. So, it was pretty brutal. but I just use a haymaker thing. So then Ultra basically rips out the remaining knives that Toga did to her. And the only pain that he felt was his tail that got basically got knifed into. Yeah. But he'll survive. As they, yeah. So then yeah. So after that, Zuko and Ultra, were still dating each other's. Yeah. So then the Ultra gets, because she loved Zuko so much that even, yeah. And her hero costume is similar to what her are wearing in One Piece, but with pant legs and yeah. So yeah, and she's happy to have Zuko. Yeah. So yeah. So then Inko, Sashi, and Zumi can't even still. They're still. They still basically are trying to get over how Zuko's transformation. And or actually, Sashi told them what Zuko had. Or actually, one of the pro heroes told Sashi what Zuko had, a power, as they made a new category called powers. So now, yeah, instead of labeling it as a quirk, it's labeled as a power. So yeah, so Zuko and who was the most powerfulest one is he sat down as his tails doesn't so some people does it so when Zuko basically eats outside, when he sometimes Ultra sees him outside, it doesn't mean that he doesn't love her. It means because his tail keeps getting stepped on by everyone else. As they did tell her that it's not because, it's actually because us people keep stepping on his tail. Oh, yeah. And she's happy about. She's actually the outside person that would rather spend time outside than inside, because of her dinosaur quirk. And she goes outside with Zuko. And Zuko was basically As he basically, or as she basically, sorry, I'm stuttering for a minute, sorry. I just had to think real quick. So, Zuko, as she says, what are you gonna do after school? Probably go swimming, and training my dinosaur counterparts or my powers for a bit. And besides that, I really don't know. And she basically joins, or she asks Zuko to, if, like, basically, she basically joins Zuko for swimming. Sure. And so then after school, they go towards the, like, lake. Or the, yeah. They're actually to the sea. Ezuku's, who was in a swimsuit thing. Like the, basically, swim trunks. And her is in like a swimsuit thing. As she basically swims around. And having fun. And as, yeah, he goes through, yeah. And when so he's going through like this basically, well, and yeah, so he goes between his human form, his dinosaur form, but during swimming, though, he unlocked the hybrid form. As when Zuko, that's new, as she says. Never seen that before. As he looks at his hand, me neither. As his body, because he looked at his hand, and as he's clenching his hand, man. Yeah, so he still has, so basically he's a hybrid of Zuko's dinosaur half and his human half, so yeah. So after, he just needs to relax. As then he tried his fire powers and ice powers. And his, yeah. So, but then something else happened. He created a little mini versions of his, like, basically elemental dinosaurs. That's so new. Oh. As he's like, as he's trying to figure out what's going on with, so, yeah. So when he came back to Earth, or no, when he went back to town, to Ultra's thing, everybody stops and stares at him. because everybody thought he was a mutant. But then when Paige says, "Come on, Zuko." Oh, that's... As everybody's eyes widen. Wait. So there's a human form, dinosaur form. But then when Zuko saw the third, or when they ran through, his powers also allows him to do a hybrid of that. Holy crud. Even Ochako is surprised about it. Like, everybody can't even believe it. So, a time skip to All Might So, time skip to them getting married thing. So, they both got married, and they had 2 kids, but they both had mixed powers. Basically, one of them has the icy version of hers, and then the other one was and the character, or their kid was actually called Page 1. So, yeah, in this what if universe thing, Page 1 is basically a son of the Ultra and the Zuko Midoriya. So, and he has similar powers to his father. But he inherits also Zuko's is basically fire because both his daughter and his son are like fire and ice. So they spend a lot more time together. Zuko became a pro hero, or actually Ultra and Zuko became pro heroes. And yeah, all the villains just were like, we all don't feel like getting killed today by dinosaurs, so everybody's went right into hiding. Like, they're like, the crime rate dropped to 0. And, yeah. If you guys want me to do another custom Delfruits thing of this what if thing, like what I did with the Naomi model sorry.
Ryu Ryu no Mi, model, Ignis Spinosaurus.
Yeah. So basically, yeah. Let me know down in the comments below, and have a good night or day, depends on the time zones. And peace out, y'all. Peace.